Hey there, welcome to the Get Fully Funded channel. I'm Sandy Reese, Chief Encouragement Officer here at Get Fully Funded, where we help small nonprofits learn to raise the money they need to fully fund their budget. I am here to help you master the art and science of fundraising, tip by tip, and I've got a really good one for you today. But first, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that every time we upload a new piece of content, you're the first one to know. All right, let's get to this week's tip. You want to know what drives more donations when you're asking for support from your list? It's actually not more emails, it's more connection. I'm Sandy Reese, Chief Encouragement Officer at Get Fully Funded. I see this every day. And while I want to talk specifically about year-end today, this is true all year long. Some folks think, oh, when I need to raise money, I'll just send out an email and then maybe I'll send out another email because more emails equals more money, right? Not necessarily. You see, people stick around and give when they're getting a feeling that they've done something that matters, when they feel they've made a difference. And if all you do is give us money, give us money, give us money kind of emails, people are going to leave. What donors actually respond to at year end and all year long is connection. In this day and age where we spend so much time in front of screens and everybody's world moves really fast and we're all just overwhelmed with the amount of stuff we have to do, what we crave is connection. We love the feel-good stories. We love when we're able to do something that makes a big difference. And you can create those lasting donor relationships pretty easily. It's about consistent, clear communications. It's about sharing stories and the impact that the donations that someone gave has made. When you prioritize how a donor feels and you make a real effort to share the stories and show them the impact and help them feel good, guess what? You are going to raise more money. You're going to raise more money in the summer. You're going to raise more money at year end. So if you are in a situation where you are working very hard, you're working a lot, maybe long hours, and you just don't seem to be raising more money, I want you to pause a second and look at everything you're doing. Do you have stuff on your plate that really doesn't need to be on your plate? Can you clear space so that you can focus on warming donors up? Now, I'm shooting this video in May and talking about year end. Why in the world am I talking about this so early? Because what you do now is going to have huge impact in 6 months. How you treat donors now is going to lay the foundation for how big they want to give at year end. So you need to focus on consistent communications, not asking all the time, but having emails and printed pieces that just give somebody an update. So there's no ask in it. We use the 3-to-1 ratio to measure that. And the 3-to-1 ratio says that you can ask as often as you want, as long as in between those asks you have 3 really good warm communications. 3 pieces that warm the donor's heart and make them feel great about giving to your organization. So now you have to look at the calendar. You have to look at where your asks are. You have to plan these things out. You have to think about what you're doing when you're not asking, because that is where fundraising happens. Now, last minute appeals, like the things that you say, oh my gosh, we got to raise money. Let's throw something in the mail next Monday. That can work to an extent. I have done things like that. I have created things at the last minute, but they were already on the plan. I don't like doing things at the last minute most of the time because nobody does their best work at the 11th hour. That's just how this works. So most of the time what happens is you are not allowing yourself the time to be strategic. You're not able to think about segmenting your donors. You're not able to think about how your appeal is going to come across. You're just so busy trying to bang it out and get it out the door that there's no time for strategy. It's really important, especially for year end, that you warm up your donors before you start asking. And this works really well if you are guilty of not doing as many communications as you should have the rest of the year. You ought to be communicating with your donors at least once a month by email, and probably once a quarter or so by print if you have donors you don't have email addresses for. So it's important to think about what you're going to do between now and the end of the year, so you can be very intentional and you can plan what the donor's experience is going to be, and you can start to think about how you sequence a donor's experience, how you tell stories and share impact before you ask for money. These are all very important pieces. So the good news is, if you're watching this in late spring or early summer, you have plenty of time to be thinking about your strategy, your plan, the donor experience, all these things. And when you spend a little time and you map this out, I promise you will raise more money during the fall and the holiday season.
If you like this video, there's plenty more where this one came from. Be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that every time we add a new tip, you're the first to find out. I don't want you to miss a single thing.